Welcome to Darlington, race number 5 of the 2019 All-Star Offline racing season. We saw a great race at Atlanta last week. Really interesting qualifying race. The main race was not anything like the qualifying race. Darlington is going to be a really tough track. We're getting ready for the qualifying race. As always, if you want to skip right to the main race or the qualifying race, look in the comments. You'll see the timestamps for the race. So these are all the people that are in this race. Clint Spillman, he fell out of the top 32. He has to qualify his way in. Dawson Montenegro also fell out of the top 32. He has to qualify his way in. Everybody else is everyone else is the exact same cars that were in this qualifying race last week. Obviously, everybody trying to get out of that predicament that they're in, trying to get to the top 32. If you're in the top 32 in points, you don't have to qualify your way into the race. But if you don't qualify, you do not get to race. You do get provisional points. It's usually about 40 points or so that you get. So it kind of does suck, but you don't lose a whole lot. You could lose a lot more if you weren't in the race at all and not getting provisional points. So the cars coming by for their first qualifying lap. We have one more lap to go, about 2 more minutes, and we will start going through the field, see who starts where. See, last week, I think it was the 27 of Benjamin Wallace, the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, 91 of Logan Gentry, and the 40 of Tim Hoffman. They did not qualify their way into the race, and they lost a lot of points. Tim was kind of up near the top 32, but now he is further back, so he's hoping he can get himself qualified in. The number 60 car, Colton Harmon, he has elected to keep his car out of this race as well, out of the main race. So again, the top 11 cars from this race will transfer. That means 4 cars from the qualifying race will go home. But if Colton was in the race, that would mean 5 of these cars in this qualifying race would go home. Sheila Harmon's still trying to work her way to the front in the points. She was involved in that pit road crash last week at Atlanta, so her car was damaged. She did not have a good finish. It's like a lot of these cars that are in these qualifying races, once they make the main race, they don't have good luck, or something happens in the main race, and it holds them back even further than what they have been. So you see Benjamin Wallace starting out front. It looks like Jeremiah Dwayne and Logan Gentry will start second and third. Those were 3 of the cars that did not qualify last week, so they're starting first, second, and third, trying to get a little redemption. Tim Hoffman back in 12th. He's the other car that did not qualify last week. So it's going to be a very interesting race. We've seen a couple cars get out of this qualifying predicament every week. Gary Harmon is one of those drivers. A few other cars. I think if Clint Spillman can if he can get through the qualifying race and make the main race, I think he could probably get out of it. He just had a bad race last week. So here we go. The qualifying order is set. Oh, for some reason, I'm starting on the backstretch. Okay, whatever. So, let's go through the field. We've got the 27 Benjamin Wallace starting out front. We've got the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne second. Third is the 91 of Logan Gentry. Fourth is Ryan Benjamin. Fifth, Dawson Montenegro. He did not have a good finish last week. The 41 of Tyrell Resner. He ended up winning his qualifying race last week. Didn't have that great of a performance at Atlanta, but not too bad. The 50 of Cody Rhodes making his second qualifying start, hoping to get into the main race. The 30 of Ron Jackson started a little later, I believe race 2? So he's a little further back, but he is trying to make his way up to the top 32 in points. He is pretty close. The 66 of Darwish Jr. is next. He's had a decent season. He has missed a few races. 33 Sheila Harmon has made every race that she has qualified in, or been a part of, but she has not had any good finish, has not been able to put good results, so she is still stuck back here in the qualifying races. 37 Cesar Ramirez, he's made some races, but again, not having that many great runs. Tim Hoffman has had a pretty good run early in the season. Last few weeks he has struggled, did not make the race last week at Atlanta, had a really bad finish at Vegas, so last 2 weeks have really put him in a big bind. The 20 of Yel Carrillo is starting to come back. He had a pretty bad start to his season, but He's starting to come back. He's trying to make himself up in the top 32 in points. Clint Spillman, involved in that huge wreck at Rockingham earlier this year, has not really had that great of finishes since that wreck, and that's put him further back now in the points. He is flirting with the top 32. 09 Evan McCollum has made, I believe, 3 races out of the 5 that we're in, so he's hoping to make the race here at Darlington, get some more points. That is your starting lineup. We're going to accelerate this time. Whoop. We missed the command to start their engines. That kind of sucks. Alright, 19 laps is the distance here at Darlington. Big unknown here. I don't know how this race is going to be. With the qualifying race, there is 15 cars, I believe. It could be a pretty interesting race. It could be a lot of fun, but we'll find out. Benjamin Wallace, that 27. Jeremiah Dwayne in that 00. Both starting out front. They're going to lead the field to the green flag. Waiting patiently for the green flag to drop. Green flag is in the air. The 27 Benjamin Wallace leads them down to the green flag. There they go. You see the track pretty bumpy on the front stretch. Jeremiah Dwayne trying to hold on, trying to maybe get first or so from that outside line. That's going to be hard to do. It looked like Logan Gentry almost made contact with Benjamin Wallace in the first turn. We haven't seen a crash in these qualifying races. That's going to be interesting if we would have our first crash in one of these races. See the 91 Logan Gentry. He started in third. He is trying to get the lead. Benjamin also going to power back on the outside. Benjamin is going to lead the first lap here at Darlington. But this first turn is so unforgiving. Benjamin Wallace, that outside line, they lose multiple positions. See Logan Gentry, Dawson Montenegro, Cody Rhodes, the top 3. They have separated themselves now. Benjamin Wallace 4th. 5th was Ryan Benjamin, but he has dropped back. That outside line really is not that great. Turn number 1 is really bad for these cars. I don't know if it's just... I don't know what it is. Dawson Montenegro now trying to get the lead from Logan Gentry. Whoop. We'll see Dawson's going to go right past Logan, so Dawson now is the leader. You see Tim Hoffman back here. He has made his way up into a transfer position. He is in 10th place. Looks like Ron Jackson has that next transfer position in 11th place. Ryan Benjamin right behind him. I believe, wait, let's see. Oh no, Ryan Benjamin has the transfer spot. Now Evan McCollum gets past the 48 of Ryan Benjamin. Evan is now going to be in the transfer spot. See Ryan Benjamin, Tyrell Resner, Sheila Harmon, and Clint Spillman. The 4 cars back here not in a transfer position right now. They're hoping for a caution or something to happen up front. Ryan trying to get back to the 09's bumper. I think he is going to look down low in turn number 1. He might get past Evan McCollum. He is. He's going to make it past Evan. Now is Evan going to lose more positions? Here comes the 41 of Tyrell Resner. Tyrell going to try to get past Evan McCollum. Big battle right here for the transfer position. Evan now falling out of that transfer spot. Logan Gentry has fallen all the way back. He did not make a race yet. See Clint Spillman, Sheila Harmon, Tyrell Resner, and now Evan McCollum. They are all out of the transfer position. Now here comes Logan Gentry. He's falling back. Same with the 27 of Benjamin Wallace. Now Evan McCollum is going to be in the transfer spot. The final transfer spot. Now it's Benjamin Wallace. Logan Gentry is now out of the transfer position. And meanwhile, Dawson Montenegro, Cody Rhodes, Jeremiah Dwayne, and Darwish Jr., they have pretty much checked out of the field. See that time by Benjamin Wallace had the transfer position. Now he's falling back. Logan Gentry now has the final position. But Tyra Resner, Sheila Harmon, Clint Spillman, and Benjamin Wallace are all out of the transfer position right now. Let's go back up near the front and see what's happening up here. See a battle for the lead as Dawson Montenegro is the leader. Cody Rhodes second, Jeremiah Dwayne third. You see Jeremiah Dwayne in third. He did not qualify last week. Same with Tim Hoffman in that 40 car. He's back in 7th. Evan McCollum in 10th. Those cars did not qualify. Those are 3 of the 4 cars that did not qualify, so very interesting. We're going to check back up with the leaders here in a little bit. It's pretty much single file back here now. Logan Gentry has the final transfer position. He is in 11th place. Oops. You see Benjamin Wallace falling really far back. I don't know if maybe he has an issue with his car. Benjamin Wallace, Clint Spillman, Sheila Harmon, Tyrell Resner. All 4 cars not in a transfer position. They're hoping for a caution or something, as we are now getting ready to go halfway through this race. Tyrell Resner won the qualifying race last week, but here we go. We're getting more of a battle up here. Looks like the 30 of Ron Jackson is going to fall back. Tyrell Resner might be able to get past the 30. Once you're on the high line, I mean, this track is kind of like Bristol. When you're in the high line, you're going to lose a lot of positions. Turns 3 and 4, a little easier, I guess, to navigate. But turns 1 and 2, it's a wider turn. It's a more banked turn. It's easier to make passes, and it's also easier to fall back. Not a lot of grip up on the top. You see 41 to 33. Now Clint Spillman trying to get past Ron Jackson. Sheila Harmon, she is out of the transfer position right now. Tyrell Resner has the final transfer position. This is the battle for the final transfer spot. We still have a long race to go. You see Evan McCall and Logan Gentry, they have checked out from these cars back here. Looks like Sheila Harmon now might have the transfer position. She is gaining a lot of ground on the 91 of Logan Gentry. Go back up front here. Cody Rhodes, second. Benjamin Wallace. Or not Benjamin Wallace. That's Jeremiah Dwayne. I'm sorry. Jeremiah Dwayne is the leader. He's starting to check out from the second, third, and fourth place drivers. Cody Rhodes, second. Dawson Montenegro, third. Darwish Jr., fourth. Fifth is Yale Carrillo. Sixth is Tim Hoffman. Seventh, Cesar Ramirez. Eighth, Ryan Benjamin. He's going to try to qualify his way in. Right now, he has a good position. Ninth place is the 09 of Evan McCollum. 10th place, Logan Gentry. 11th is Sheila Harmon. Clint Spillman moves to 12th. He is out of the transfer position, but he really needs a good finish. Same with Ron Jackson behind him. Ron actually is pretty close to the top 32 in points. But if he does not qualify here, he is definitely going to lose points. It's going to be an interesting week, that's for sure. A lot of good racing here at Darlington. Single file now for the most part. Clint Spillman trying to catch that 33 of Sheila Harmon. Sheila Harmon is in the final transfer position. Oh, wait, no. Hold up 1 second. It's a little weird. Where's the 40 car at? Tim Hoffman. Tim Hoffman's all the way up here. For some reason it's saying, oh, whoops, I'm on the fastest lap. That's why. Okay. Sorry about that. Dawson Montenegro falling back a good bit. Jeremiah Dwayne still the leader. Cody Rhodes second. Third is now Yale Carrillo. Fourth, Darwish Jr. Fifth, Tim Hoffman. Sixth, Dawson Montenegro. We go back here a little bit further. Logan Gentry does have the transfer spot. Same with Sheila Harmon. Clint Spillman, Ron Jackson are trying to pounce on an opportunity to get the transfer position. We are almost done with this race. We've got 4 more laps to go. See, 91 Logan Gentry, he did not make the race last week. Sheila Harmon did. She was in a wreck. Clint Spillman was in the race. Same with Ron Jackson, Tyrell Resner. All of these cars pictured here, except for that 91, were in the race last week. 91 trying to hold on to his position. He is in 10th place. Sheila's in 11th. She's that 33 car. The 8 of Clint Spillman, the first car that will not make the race at this moment. He is trying to get past the 33 Sheila Harmon. I thought Cesar Ramirez earlier was going to get past and create an opportunity for some of these drivers to pass him. Evan McCall at 09 wants to make the race. A lot of stuff going on here. A lot of cars, though, are, well, not a lot, but a few cars are in this race so far in a transfer spot, and they were not in the race last week. Lap number 17 out of 19, now 18 out of 19. We've got 2 more laps to go. Before we get the white flag, let's look at the front here. You've got the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne has checked out. Same with Cody Rhodes, that number 50. The 20 of Yale Carrillo, 3rd. 4th, Darwish Jr. 5th, Tim Hoffman. 6th, Dawson Montenegro. 7th, Ryan Benjamin. And then it's a big, massive race back here. Remember that 33 car, she is in the transfer position. At 37, Cesar Ramirez, he gets a really good jump off the turn. Sheila Harmon now on the outside. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea. Clint Spillman at number 8 car is going to get past her. He now has a transfer position. Sheila Harmon and Ron Jackson are battling right back behind him. I think Clint Spillman might be able to hold on to his position. He saw a really great opportunity, and he is going to get in the race, I believe. Sheila Harmon falling back to 13th place on the last lap. And that is the race. Clint Spillman is going to jump from 12th to 11th, and he will get the final transfer position. A last lap pass for him. We've seen a few last lap passes in these races, these qualifying races. That was a very great race. Fortunately, Ron Jackson was outside of the top 11. He is 12th. He will not make the race. Sheila Harmon, 13th, getting past, losing 2 positions on the last lap. She will not make the race. 14th, Tyrell Resner won the qualifying race last week. Finishes 14th. He is not going to make the race. 27 of Benjamin Wallace made the race last week, and he is not going to make the race this week, unfortunately. Jeremiah Dwayne at 00, he will win the qualifying race. Cody Rhodes is 2nd, 3rd, Yale Carrillo, 4th, Darwish Jr., 5th, Tim Hoffman, 6th, Dawson Montenegro, 7th, Ryan Benjamin, 8th, Evan McCollum, 9th, Cesar Ramirez, 10th, Logan Gentry, and 11th is Clint Spillman. Those 11 cars will make the race. They will be here later on at Darlington. In the meantime, we are going to get things set up for the main race, and we will see you guys here very shortly with the race at Darlington. I think it's a 92-lap race, if I remember correctly. Alright, we will see you in a few moments. Jeremiah Dwayne qualifying his way in, winning the qualifying race. We'll be back. Welcome back here to Darlington. We are getting ready for the main race. Going to qualify the cars real quick. See who gets the pole. We just saw a pretty exciting qualifying race for the transfer position. Saw a few cars not make the race that really needed to make it. Clint Spillman did make the race. On the final lap, he made the pass on Sheila Harmon. Ron Jackson, Sheila Harmon, Tyrell Resner, and Benjamin Wallace did not make the race. I didn't realize Benjamin Wallace did make the race last week. No, he did not make the race last week, so that's 2 in a row for him. So he is going to lose a lot of points. But those 4 drivers that did not make the race today, they will get provisional points. So your best bet is to hope that somebody else has issues and you don't lose too many points. Anything can happen here at Darlington. We did see a really great race last week at Atlanta. No cautions, but we did see a crash on pit road involving the 33 of Sheila Harmon and the 12 of Samet Oskin. But we saw a lot of great racing before pit stops. The first 50 or so laps were really exciting. The last 20 or 30 laps were pretty exciting, but everybody was pretty much spread out. Look at that 20 of Yale Carrillo getting the pole right now in the first lap. There is still another lap, so that could drastically change. See the winner last week, Sarah Rocha, she's all the way down in last. First female winner in NASCAR won last week at Atlanta. So good job to her. Well, not last week, but the other day. I always say last week, but it's really the other day. So, wow, Tim Brangan. The great lap. Looks like Tim Brangan might be the pole sitter here at Darlington. 8-0. File might follow him up with a 2nd place. The first 3 positions really close lap time wise, and then you see Jacob Britt and Tim Zimmer the same exact lap. So we have about another minute of qualifying. We will then begin the race. You see Clint Spillman starting 11th place, Logan Gentry 5th. They both need really good runs. Felix Boucher fell back in the points a good bit in the last 2 races. He is starting 4th. This really is anybody's game. I mean, anybody can win. Anybody can win. Anybody can wreck. It's really a toss up in the air. You have no idea who's gonna finish where. You don't know what these tracks are going to do either. You could really have a wild race that takes a lot of contenders out. You could take, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting race, I believe. I know I said that last week and we didn't have a caution at all, but This is Darlington. It's a little bit of a different type of atmosphere. The track is really narrow. The racing groove is not all that wide, so if you get 3 wide or so, there could be room for a lot of incidents there. Alright, qualifying is now official. Let's start this race. So starting first is the number 2 of Tim Brannigan. Whoops, wrong button. Second place is 805 at number 1, the 12 of Samet Oskin, the 25 of Felix Boucher, the 91 of Logan Gentry qualified his way in, and this is his first race, the 29 of Jacob Britt, the 45 of Tim Zimmer, the 20 of Yale Carrillo also qualified his way in, the 4 of Gary Harmon, the 9 of Bruce Zero, the 8 of Clint Spillman made that last lap pass in the qualifying race, he qualified his way in. You have the 80 of Stephen Pollard, the 09 Evan McCollum also qualified his way in. 48 of Ryan Benjamin qualified his way into the race as well. They both need really good finishes. Got the 81 of Skylar Rocha, the 97 of Gavin Jones, the 24 of Pablo West, the 04 of John Book, the 5 of Damian Singletary, the 21 of Robbie Bannister, 50 of Cody Rhodes, the 90 of Jacob Johnson, the 66 of Darvish Jr., the 18 of Kagan Polshiner, the 6 of Simon Zarnato, the 43 Dawson Montenegro. You have the 14 of Sarah Rocha, the winner last week, the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett, the 7 of Tina Livingston, the 37 of Cesar Ramirez. All three of the female drivers start right beside each other and then right behind each other as well. You have the 74 Logan Gentry, the 88 of Josh Hardiman, the 17 of Alexander Jones, the 15 of Hunter Blade. You have the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, the 32 of Brett Taylor, the 0 of Alex Bruno, the 16 of CJ Williams, the 40 of Tim Hoffman, missed the race last week. He needs a good finish today, but he starts really far back. The 38 of Sean Howe, the 99 of Axel Zero, the 42 of Hugo Jimenez. So that's your starting lineup. Let's accelerate the time a little bit. There we go. Darlington is going to be a very interesting race. Not only is this a narrow track, but this is a track that's deemed too tough to tame. But I don't want to talk for now. They're going to get the command to start the engines here in a few seconds.
Drivers, start your engines!
So the cars start their engines. We're going to be underway here in just a few moments. But this track is deemed too tough to tame, with the racing groove being really narrow. You see all that track, all the racing right there, but from the white dotted line all the way to the wall, that is all they have to race. That is the only surface, so it does get a little hectic here at this track. The Darlington stripe is a very famous thing. You see all those marks there on the wall. Those are Darlington stripes. Cars hit the wall constantly. There's always wrecks. It's usually a pretty wild race. See what happens. 92 laps will determine the winner. Tim Brannigan at number 2 getting his first pole position. He leads the field down to the green flag. Green flag is in the air. Tim Brannigan gets a pretty good start. See Samet Oskin at number 12 right behind Tim. He got a good start as well. The field racing down into turn number 1 and 2. Look, oh, there's already crash. Oh, wow. Caution flag out. Hunter Blade, Jeremiah Dwayne, they get the worst of it. Looks like CJ Williams is stuck. Hugo Jimenez. A big crash already on lap number 1. We told you it was going to be a wild race. Last week we didn't have any cautions, and now we have the first caution of the race. Wow. So Tim Brannigan is out front. He did get the lap led. He almost got passed by the 91 and the 12, Samet Oskin, Logan Gentry. I do not believe we're going to... Oh, wow. Gavin Jones just got hit. He almost spun out. What the heck? Cars back here trying to find their starting line, or trying to find their lineup that they're in. I don't think we're going to have anybody come down pit road. Not after the first lap of racing. Very long race already. One caution. So, very interesting we've seen a caution this early. Didn't think we would see a crash that early. So nobody's coming down pit road. Let's look at the 97 first, Gavin Jones. Gavin, I don't know what happened. If he was spun out by that 50 of Cody Rhodes, or what, it looked like he almost wrecked. You see, they're coming to the pace car, and they're making some contact. They might have had an issue on the track, but Cody just about spun the 97 out. That was a very interesting moment in time. Now let's go ahead and look a few cars out of this race. This is the start of the race here. I don't know what happened. Oh, it looked like Brett Taylor and Jeremiah Dwayne hit each other, and then it was 3 wide, and oh, that just does not work. Not at all. Hunter Blade definitely got the worst of that wreck. See, CJ Williams, he was stopped on the track. I guess his car stalled or something, but him and Hugo Jimenez are on pit road. Hunter Blade, his day might come to an end already. Just, it was 3 wide there, into the wall hard. Brett Taylor involved in it. Let's watch the 42 Hugo Jimenez. Let's watch on board with him. See what exactly he saw from this start of the race and in this wreck. Hugo Jimenez started last. Probably a good thing. See, they're 3 wide, but they just ran out of space right there. Hugo did get into 38 of Sean Howe. Sean spun out, and then, like I said, I don't know, their cars just stalled, it looked like. But Hugo Jimenez in this race. Looks like the 15 of Hunter Blade is still in this race. See, he's got a lot of damage to that car. The back end is all torn to pieces. Not a good start to his day. Tim Brannigan is the race leader here at Darlington. See, the 15 Hunter Blade, the 42 Hugo Jimenez, and the 16 CJ Williams. They are all a lap down already. Really bad day. Really bad start to their day. We'd said in the qualifying race there was probably going to be cars that had issues, and if these cars are cars that are really high up in the standings, or even close to the 32 point cutoff, or the 32 car cutoff, then that could really create a lot of controversy for next week. Some of these drivers that are trying to get into the top 32 might not have that hard of a time now with some wrecks that happen. Obviously, being a lap down early on is a good thing, I guess. It's better than being a lap down later in the race, but it is a bad thing because all 3 of those cars have damage, and I highly doubt they're going to be able to get their lap back. But we will find out. It seems like this is going to be an interesting race. See the 1500 Blade merging back onto the track. Very bad day for him. CJ Williams is there. Hugo Jimenez. They don't have damage, it doesn't look like. I mean, they got a couple little scrapes and such on their cars from that crash, but no significant damage. The 16 might have some more damage than the 42. And his hood, I thought it was raised up just a tiny bit, but maybe it's not. That 15, though, he is going to probably cause a lot of issues, being damaged. He is probably going to be off the pace. He has a lot of damage to that car. See, the hood is up a little bit. I could see the top of his hood raised up. See, the fenders are all messed up. The back is taken out. So we are going to get the restart here. It's going to be on lap number 6 out of 92. That first caution might have just paved the way for how this race is going to be. Going down into turn number 1, I think maybe the first 5 or 6 cars are going to be able to clear the 15 of Hunter Blade, but everyone behind him is going to be at risk, and there could be a lot of chaos happening here very shortly. It's funny, we only saw 1 caution at Las Vegas. That was about lap 20 or so. Almost halfway through that race. We didn't see a crash at all, well, a caution at all last week at Atlanta. And on lap 1, in the first turn, we have our first crash here at Darlington. The season is so unpredictable. There's been already a lot of things happening. And I have a feeling this is just the beginning. We've got some really interesting tracks coming up in the season. Bristol is one of them. Talladega is coming up. Talladega is going to probably be a wild race. So getting ready for the restart. See Tim Brandon up front, leading some laps. You lead 1 lap or more, you get 5 bonus points towards your championship. You lead 5, or if you lead the most laps, you get 5 more points. That's what Tim is trying to do. Obviously, the lap cars on the inside are going to help him there. He's got his teammate, Sam and Ozkin, behind him. But if Tim can get a good enough jump on this restart, he should be able to clear the lap cars. I don't know if... I mean, Sam might be able to, but... Oh, wow. There we go, we're underway. Tim Brandon does clear the 42 Hugo Jimenez. Sam Ozkin does not into turn number 1. Let's look back here. You see 42 Hugo Jimenez holding Sam Ozkin up, and 1500 Blade holding everybody up back here. This could create issues. We're double wide now, right behind Hunter Blade. Hunter holding the bottom line. Meanwhile, we look up here, look at Sam Ozkin. Tim Brandon now is the leader. He's got the 42 and the 16 behind him, but they're a lap down. Logan Gentry is going to lose quite a bit of positions. Whoa, the 15, Hunter Blade. I thought he was going to... It looked like he almost got spun out or something. 1500 Blade now on the outside. He is holding Clint Spillman up, Evan McCollum up. And now he's on the bottom line here. Tim Brandon has about a half of a second lead over Sam Ozkin. We are going to go back up to the front. Look at this racing that's happening. See Samet right there in second. Tim Zimmer in third. He's trying to battle Samet for the lead. Or not for the lead, for second, I'm sorry. Yeah, for second. Tim Brandon is the leader. That outside line on turn 3 and 4 seems to be really good. But turns 1 and 2, it is not good at all. Going back here, seeing the 1500 Blade. He is holding up all of these cars. Clint Spillman, Evan McCollum, they are on the wrong side of the lane. They do not want to be up top. They are getting passed. They are going to be going all the way to the back. They're almost in the back, actually. Clint started, well, he restarted up near the front, top 10 or so. And he's back in about 30th position. See, Clint Spillman, this last time by, he was in 24th. From him being on the high side behind that 15, he goes from 24th to 30th. He does finally get by the 15 of Hunter Blade. Meanwhile, it looks like everybody else is going to get past him. So we're going to look at some of the racing back here. Tim Zimmer did get past Samet Ozkin for second. Gary Harmon is right back here. He's trying to get third place from Zimmer. But Tim Brandon has a nice lead. He's got 2 lap cars between him. That is the 2 car. Tim Brandon right out front. The 45 is second. The 42 and the 16 are 1 lap down. See, Samet Ozkin fell back to 4th place. Very interesting race already. Look at the 16 now. CJ Williams trying to get past the 42 of Hugo Jimenez. Gary Harmon now for 2nd place over Tim Zimmer. He is going to get past the 42, possibly. Whoa, it looked like he got a little loose there off turn number 2. CJ Williams now is the first car 1 lap down. He's trying to catch Tim Brandon. If he could get his lap back and we get a caution, that would be great for him. Meanwhile, all this racing back here with these lap cars and with everybody else is going to allow Tim to have over a 2nd lead now. Hugo Jimenez now getting passed by the other lead lap cars. See Gary Harmon 2nd. 3rd is Samet Ozkin. 4th now is Aiden O'File. 5th is Jacob Britt. Tim Zimmer has fallen back a little bit. Meanwhile, though, Tim Brandon out front leading laps. He has led every lap so far. Every lap you see that first car in line, that silver and blue car. See that all black car, that is 1st and 2nd. Gary Harmon has had a pretty good car this year. He has made it out of the bottom 32, well, the bottom half of the field in points. He is up in the top 32 in points, so as of now, he does not have to qualify his way into each race. Definitely a really good moment for him. He is hoping he can continue his streak and try to get some good finishes. You see Logan Gentry passing Sam Oskin in the back. Still 3 cars are a lap down. Gary Harmon is reeling in the 2 car of Tim Brannigan. There Gary is, that number 4 car. 8-0 file is now 3rd. 4th is Jacob Britt. Sam Oskin has fallen back to 6th. See Logan Gentry, 5th place, first start, or first main start. He has qualified qualified for this race. He did not make the race last week, so he missed out on points. Tim Zimmer trying to take the spot away from the 12 of Sam Oskin. Look further back here, it looks like it's mainly single file. Everybody single file. 32 Brett Taylor making a pass on Josh Hardiman there. Yeah, everybody, we're going backwards in the field. Everybody a single file. See Hunter Blade, he is about ready to get passed again by the leaders. So everything is single file for the moment. We're just going to watch some Tim Brannigan racing here. See that car in that bottom of the screen, he was in view for a split second. That's the 15 of Hunter Blade. Looks like about every 8 or so laps he's probably going to go a lap down. His car's badly damaged off the pace. Let's go back, look at the 12 of Sam Oskin. He is continuing to fall back, but that's a lap car there. The 42 of Hugo Jimenez. Lap car, David Singletary. You have Ryan Benjamin here having a great run today. Same with Gavin Jones, Pablo West, Yel Carrillo, and Darwish Jr. They're all having really good races today. We still have a very long way to go. We're not even close to halfway point yet. We're about a quarter of the way through the race. So a lot of racing left. See Skylar Rocha further back here. He was getting passed by the 50 of Cody Rhodes, the 14 back there in that purple car. That is Sarah Rocha. So Skylar's getting passed. He's falling back a little bit. See some good racing up here. Sam Oskin still falling back. Samet now is outside of the top 10. He is back to 12th. Meanwhile, let's look up front here. See a big battle as the leaders have now caught the 15 of Hunter Blade. That's going to bring Gary Harmon, 8-0 file, Jacob Britt, and the 16 is also here. Look at the 16 now under Tim Brannigan. I think there's going to be a lead change here. The 16, CJ Williams, he is a lap car. He is now on the lead lap, on the tail end of the lead lap. Gary Harmon now at number 4 is going to lead this race at Darlington. 8-0 file is going to get second place. That 16 car, CJ Williams, he wants a caution now. Look at Logan Gentry trying to take third place. Actually, no, second place now from 8-0 file. Gary Harmon out front. That 1500 Blade of really slowing Tim Brannigan down. Tim is falling back. He's going to hope that he can fall in line here. I think he can. He can get past that 15. Gary Harmon now going to try to pass the 16 of CJ Williams. CJ trying to battle hard to stay on the lead lap. Looks like Gary is going to get him, maybe? 16, CJ Williams coming back on the outside. Gary Harmon is the race leader. He has almost a second lead over second place of Logan Gentry. CJ Williams now is 1 lap down. A lot of cars back here. 1500 Blade holding cars up. Tim Brannigan was the leader a few laps ago. He is back to 7th place. Remember, the cars have not came down pit road yet. They did not pit. That first caution was on lap number 1, so there was no need to pit. Gary Harmon now has a half a second lead over Logan Gentry, 2nd place. 3rd place of Stephen Pollard III, finished 2nd last week. He is a second back. Yo Carrillo, I think, almost got into the back of the 15. Hunter Blade. Hunter Blade holding these cars up. Right now, it's really how you can catch the lap cars, if you can pass them on the inside or get stuck behind them. If you're the 20, you're going to get stuck behind Hunter Blade, and you're going to lose all of these positions in this turn. Yo Carrillo now losing a lot of spots, falling back. Same with Hunter Blade. So Yo Carrillo is going to be at the end of that little group of cars. You see the 8 of Clint Spillman trying to work his way back up. Clint is back in 30th. So he fell back like 20 some odd positions at the start of this race. Gary Harmon is the leader. Look at Logan Gentry. He has reeled him in. He passed the 16 of CJ Williams. While we have a battle for the lead, let's look at the top 10 cars on the top left. I am going to change the standings so you can see where you're at from 11th to 20th place. You see Tim Hoffman in 20th. He is trying to get to the front. Look at Logan Gentry now. He is right on the bumper of Gary Harmon. Is he going to make a move in turn number 1? Nope, not yet. See Pablo West at 24 cars 11th. He's having a good good run. I don't know if he's going to finish there. Darvish Jr. having a good run. The 6 of Simon Zarnato didn't really do that great last week. He is up in 15. Cody Rhodes 17th. Skylar Rocha has not been too impressive the last couple weeks. He is back in 18th place right now. Sarah Rocha 21st. She started around 26th place, so she hasn't really moved too far. Look at Logan Gentry now on the bottom of Gary Harmon. Logan Gentry is going to lead this race. This is his first main race. He failed to qualify last week at Atlanta. He did qualify this week at Darlington, and here he goes out front in the lead. Meanwhile, you see Brett Taylor 24th, 25th Josh Hardiman. He is not having a great run. He is hoping to finish good so he can make himself back up near the front in the points. Yo Carrillo in 27th. He is just happy he can qualify in this race. Logan York has had some pretty good runs the last few weeks. Kagan Polsheiner's been kind of mediocre. He hasn't had too many good finishes. See Clint Spillman in 30th. He needs a good finish because he is, I believe he was in 32nd in the points, or 31st. No, he was 33rd, I guess. 33rd to 34th. He basically missed the top 32 cutoff by just a few points, and a 30th place run right now is not going to help him at all. You see Sean Howe, he was in that first caution. He is in 31st. Dawson Montenegro is not having a good run. Same with Jacob Johnson. Tina Livingston was 3rd in the points coming into this race. She's back in 34th, not having a good run. Evan McCollum, 35th, not having a good run either. Raymond Pickett needs a good finish, but does not look like she's going to get it. Battle for second place. Stephen Pollard now will try to take second of Gary Harmon. Gary's going to come back on the outside and try to keep his second place position. Stephen is going to have the preferred line, though, in turn 1 and 2, and he is going to fly by Gary. Looks like Jacob Britt might try to get past him as well. Tim Brannigan coming back up towards the front, and Tim Zimmer. They are all up here in this first group of cars. See the doubles here, Jeremiah Dwayne. He did end up winning his qualifying race, but he's back in 39th. He is really far off the pace. Almost 20 seconds away from these leaders. Then you have Hugo Jimenez in 40th, 41st is CJ Williams in 42nd. Hunter Blade, he's 2 laps down. Those 3 cars not having the day that they wanted. Gary Harmon still falling back. Stephen Pollard is 2nd place right now. He finished 2nd last week at Atlanta. I said before, he's been kind of quiet. He's finished really good and been up near the front, but hasn't really been a huge factor in a race win, but finishing consistent, he is up in the top 5 in points. He actually came into this race, I believe, 2nd. I think it was 2nd place in the points, if I remember correctly. So he is doing really good this season. If he could keep his car up here, he could walk away with the points lead today. Let's go through the field. This is the tail end of the field. Jeremiah Dwayne stuck behind at the 15 of Hunter Blade. The leaders are exiting turn number 4, and these guys are entering turn number 1. So Hunter Blade is going to go a lap down again. See, he's holding Jeremiah Dwayne up. Oh, there's contact. Jeremiah Dwayne just gets in the back of the 1500 Blade. I don't think he's too happy with his car and with his race. He's getting held up by Hunter, so Hunter needs to move over. He might end up getting wrecked. Jeremiah Dwayne is going to get underneath of him. You see Cesar Ramirez here, 37 car. Nina Bruzier trying to take a position over Pablo West. Pablo has fallen back a lot. Pablo got into the wall. He got one of those Darlington stripes we talked about, but Pablo all the way back to now 37th position. Brandon Pickett, Evan McCollum, there's Tina Livingston, Dawson Montenegro, Sean Howe, Jacob Johnson, Logan York getting past. Logan needed a good finish. Trying to see if we can see any more Darlington stripes in cars. Does not look like it. See Sarah Rocha back here, still in about 20th position. Skylar is right in front of her. Skylar not having that great of a day, not really that strong of a car. See a few cars here. See the 99 Axel Zero getting past Tim Hoffman in that number 40 car. Tim is going to lose a lot of ground. David Oskin has fallen back, but he's pretty much stabilized in about 14th position. Battle here for, I believe, 10th or 11th place. 8-0 file, the 25 of Felix Boucher. Felix is going to get past Aiden. See a lot of racing up here. Gavin Jones looked like he almost was in the wall. He pretty much was. Really good race so far. It's been fun. It's been fun watching all this action. Logan Gentry is still the race leader over Stephen Pollard III. See Hugo Jimenez, that 42 car, he's a lap down. Gary Harmon has fallen back to 6th place. CJ Williams is the other lap car. Tim Brannigan back up to 5th. Led the first 20 or so laps. Got passed by Gary once he got caught behind the 15 of Hunter Blade. Speaking of Hunter, they're going to catch him very shortly, I think. The 45 Tim Zimmer's 4th place. Jacob Britt 3rd. He needs a great finish. He's having a really good run. Stephen Pollard III trying to catch the 91 of Logan Gentry. These two cars are 2 seconds ahead of 3rd place. So Hunter Blade exiting turn number 2. Right here he is. There's the 91 of Logan Gentry. That's the race leader. Business is about to pick up. Not only do we have pit stop soon, but they are catching that 15, so that 15 could play a factor in who is in what position after everybody gets past him. Logan Gentry, great run. I don't think this is going to get him out of the bottom half of the points and up in the top 32, but a run like this and possibly a finish will be very beneficial in his point standings. They do catch the 15 of Hunter Blade. We're going to ride with Hunter now. See what happens. Whoops. See what happens. See if he holds anybody up this time by. 91 Logan Gentry. Looks like he is going to pass the 15 with ease. Same with, maybe not with Stephen Pollard. I thought Stephen was going to fly right into turn number 1 and squeeze his way down, but Hunter Blade now holding up that number 80. I'm surprised nobody has turned that 15 car yet. We've only seen one caution. That was on lap number 1. Will we see another caution in this race? We still have a long way to go. We're almost halfway through this race. Stephen Pollard III now is going to get below the 1500 Blade, but he is now over a second back from the leader of Logan Gentry. See everybody behind Hunter Blade now trying to catch him, and they know if they can pass him, they are going to be a little closer to the lead. Right now, Logan Gentry, he is just running away with this thing. He has caught the 15 at the right time, and he has a great lead now, so he is hoping that this thing stays green flag. You see Jeremiah Dwayne, 24 seconds back. He's going to be the next car that goes a lap down. It was really close there with Jacob Britt. He almost hit the 15 of Hunter Blade. Looks like the top 5 or 6 cars are going to make it past Hunter. If you catch these lap cars at the right spot, you're okay. You can get past them with ease, but if you catch them at the wrong time in the turn, you're going to lose a lot of ground, a lot of momentum. So the top 6 cars and the lap cars have got past the 15 of Hunter Blade. The 5 of Damian Singletary is going to pass him as well. Oh wait, there's the other lap car, Hugo Jimenez. not really a lot of cars right here, so everybody's kind of strung out and really far from each other. A lot of cars are further back in the field. Hugo Jimenez trying to get past that 15 of Hunter Blade. Not too much stuff happening up front. See, there is a pass for possibly third place. I think the 45 Tim Zimmer is going to get past Jacob Britt. Maybe not. Jacob's going to power through on the outside. See, there's Stephen Pollard, that purple car. The orange car is Logan Gentry. Jeremiah Twain exiting turn number 4. Pablo West still has a lot of damage on his car. He is probably going to have to get that car fixed in pit road. He has fallen all the way to the back of the field. See, not too much has changed back here. There's a lot of racing here. I thought they had the 15 car caught, but see Skyler on the outside. He is going to lose some positions. If he can get below that 17, or get at least on the bottom, he'll be okay, but it does not look like he is going to. Ooh, maybe. Skyler Rocha now on the bottom. Kagan Polshiner was on the outside. Look at the 17 now trying to pass Skyler. There's a lot of racing going on back here. A lot of cars really close to each other. That 15 car of Hunter Blade is really far ahead of these guys. She's battling with Gavin right now. See the 0 Alex Bruno on the outside. Felix Boucher trying to pass him. Skyler Rocha on the outside. That's not good for him. He is going to lose some positions. I think the 14 of Sarah Roach is on the outside, so she's going to drop back. Dawson Montenegro is going to try to get past her. Jacob Johnson, Clint Spillman are back here. Meanwhile, that 80 car of Stephen Pollard, he is catching the 91 Logan Gentry. It is 7/10 of a second from first to second. We will go up front and see some of the leaders battling there. Top left, I will scroll through the standings so you can see who is in what position. See some more cars passing Kagan Polshiner and the 81 of Skyler Rocha. I said when you're on the outside lane, you're really vulnerable. You're going to get passed a lot. And it's really hard to make ground up, too, after you've been passed. Very hard at this track. 15 of Hunter Blade is moving slower and slower, it seems like. He is further back in this field. That racing we saw was from about 25th to about 32nd. Meanwhile, Stephen Pollard III trying to catch the 91 of Logan Gentry. $1,500 Blade, you see him there on the screen. He is about ready to get passed again by some of these other drivers. But let's go up through the field here. See the race leader, Logan Gentry, that 91. Stephen Pollard right behind him in frame. Less than a half a second. Tim Zimmer is third, and he is almost 3 seconds away from Logan. So, right now it looks like it's the Logan and Stephen show. Logan making a very, very impressive debut here at Darlington. Tim Zimmer third. Fourth is Tim Brannigan, the pole sitter. Fifth is Gary Harmon. He led some laps earlier this race. Top 10 is not really anybody we would expect to be in the top 10. I mean, Tim Brannigan's had an up and down season. Stephen Pollard has had a really good season, so he, I think right now, is actually the points leader as they run. The 45 Tim Zimmer, he has been up near the front. The 4 Gary Harmon has had some pretty good runs, but not really any good finishes, I don't believe. Nothing too remarkable. The 29 Jacob Britt has had a really big up and down season. Gavin Jones, same thing. Darvish Jr. has not made all the races. 99 Axel Zero has not really finished too great as well. So, these two cars are really close to each other. Tim Zimmer's third place, and he is 3 seconds back. You see that big gap there from Steven to Tim. And it is growing ever so slightly each lap. The green flag pit stops are going to be soon. I believe in the next 10 or so laps. They should be coming down pit road. Probably the next 5 or 10, actually. Jeremiah Dwayne right there on the bottom. He is that 00 car, tail end of the field. He is going to probably go a lap down here very shortly. There's nobody in front of him, not for a very long time. So let's look up front here. See Skylar Rocha has fallen really far back. Same with the 74 Logan York. Logan ended up winning at Rockingham, but has not really posted any really good finishes since. So unfortunate for him, but a win is definitely a win, and that does help in points. Everybody seems to be able to get by that 15 of Hunter Blade fairly easily. Looking up through the field, they're still pretty much single file. There are some battles going on every once in a while, but nothing too crazy right now. Waiting on pit stops. We have less than 40 laps to go. We have about 37, 38 laps to go. Actually, this time by is 37 laps to go here at Darlington. A little past halfway, we've had about a 50 lap green flag run here. So first caution was on lap number 1. We've been green flag ever since. It's been a really good race, a lot of excitement. Will we see another wreck, another caution or something before the end of this thing? If we do, I'm sure that will definitely bring the field in all sorts of havoc and cause all sorts of carnage, but we will find out. Logan Gentry, Stephen Pollard, they're hoping this thing goes green flag the rest of the way. Really good run, almost 4 seconds ahead of third place. They are catching that the double zero of Jeremiah Dwayne. Jeremiah did win his qualifying race, but has not really been able to do anything with it. You see further back, Hunter Blade 3 laps down in 42nd. Hugo Jimenez, CJ Williams are the only other cars a lap down. Jeremiah Dwayne is going to be a lap down here very shortly. Then you've got Skylar Rocha, Logan York, Pablo West, even the 37 Cesar Ramirez and Evan McCollum soon in jeopardy of going a lap down, as well as a lot of other cars, really about 20, I'd say 25th on back. After pit stops, will probably be a lap down. Look at Stephen Pollard now catching the 91 of Logan Gentry. He is going to try to get past him before they get past that, or before they catch the double zero car. Lap number 59 out of 92 here at Darlington, race number 5. Did not ever think I would see Logan Gentry leading this race. Not anything against him, but this is his first event, first race, and he is out front leading, so that's really cool. At this moment, I think he has the most laps led. He's been out front for a while. Oh, and the leaders are coming down pit road. A lot of cars actually coming down pit road. Pablo West. I didn't realize pit stops were starting here. Whoops. You see the 45 of Tim Zimmer now staying out. So pit stops are now beginning. Everybody going to get fresh tires, and they can go the rest of the way without coming down pit road. Oh, but there's a caution somewhere on the track. Where is... Oh, the 50 of Cody Rhodes. Something happened with Cody. I don't know what happened. We see the 45 of Tim Zimmer out front. He is going to put a lot of cars a lap down. Wow. Okay. Caution number 2 out on lap number 61. You see right now 12 cars are on the lead lap. That is going to throw... wow. I don't know. This is going to throw a huge curveball. Does the 45 and the 29, 45 Tim Zimmer and the 29 Jacob Britt, do they have enough fuel to even make it to pit road? I know they wanted to come down pit road that last lap, but the caution flag came out. The 50 of Cody Rhodes stopped on the track. I don't think he wrecked. Look at Pablo West on the bottom. Is there... Wow, I thought there was going to be a crash. It looks like the 45, Tim Zimmer, might be out of fuel. I don't know if they're out of fuel or if they're just going that slow. I think they're out of fuel. Oh, no, that's not good for these guys. Oh, no, they, nope, looks like they're okay. I think they got enough fuel in their cars. See the 17 Alexander Jones also coming down pit road. Jeremiah Dwayne coming down. This is interesting. I don't know who is going to be the leader. I don't know how many cars are actually going to be scored one lap down. I think there's going to be a lot of cars that are on the tail end of the lead lap. Well, we thought that this was going to be an exciting race, and it sure is. See some drama happening now, and if the 45 or the 29 are the leaders, that is going to mean there's probably going to be about 30 cars in front of them that are almost a lap down. This could be a big thing for the 45 of Tim Zimmer. You see that 50 car right ahead of them? Doesn't look like he has any damage. I think he might have just stopped on the track. He might have been out of fuel, actually. So the 45 of Tim Zimmer makes it out of pit road first. We might only have 7 cars on the lead lap. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I have no idea who is where, what is going on exactly. We have 31 more laps to go. That 00 Jeremiah Dwayne is in 4th place right now. That's where he's positioned. He was almost a lap down before pit stops, and now he's up in 4th. So Jeremiah Dwayne's day is definitely changing. Top 5 for now, but we'll see when all these cars get around. We will see where they're at. Let's go back and look at Cody Rhodes before the caution flag happened. I don't know where exactly it was that he stopped. Oh, right here. You see miles per hour slowing down. I think he was out of fuel. And he just ended up stopping. So that is unfortunate for him. He was in 18th place, now he's in 41st. So you see, the 45 of Tim Zimmer is the race leader, I think, right? Unless, hold on one sec, wait till everybody else gets through here. Alright, the 45 Tim Zimmer is being scored as the race leader. We've got the 29 Jacob Britt right behind him, the 17 Alexander Jones, the 15 Hunter Blade as a lap down. You got the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, who almost went a lap down before green flag pit stops. He finds himself in 4th place. Then you've got Stephen Pollard up here. He is on the tail end of the lead lap. All of these cars here. Stephen Pollard, Logan Gentry, Dahamian Singletary, Gary Harmon, Tim Brannigan, Darsh Jr., Simon Zarnato, Axel Zero, Gavin Jones, Robbie Bannister, Brett Taylor, John Book, Tim Hoffman, Josh Hardiman, Alex Bruno, Sean Howe, Sam at Oskin, Randon Pickett, Yel Carrillo, Jacob Johnson, Tina Livingston, Bruce Zero, Dawson Montenegro, Cesar Ramirez, Evan McCollum, Skylar Rocha, Clint Spillman, Ryan Benjamin, Felix Boucher, Sarah Rocha, Pablo West, and Aiden O'File. They're all on the tail end of the lead lap. So they start, since they didn't pit, and they're not a lap down, but they're on the tail end of the field, they start in front of all the leaders. And then you've got the 18, the 74, the 16, the 42, the 50, and the 15, all a lap or more down. They're starting in front of the leaders. So the leaders, Tim Zimmer's going to technically be 39th place in line on this restart. He is the leader. He's got 38 cars in front of him. I don't know who we should watch. Should we watch the front? Should we watch the back? This could be catastrophic if there's a wreck. If there's a wreck, Tim Zimmer and some of these other drivers could be involved. See, Stephen Pollard did get out front of Logan Gentry. He is in a great position because if we do have a caution, and if it does collect the leaders, he will be right up with them in the top 5. So, going to be a very interesting race. You see, going to use the mouse right here. Tim Zimmer is the race leader, and he is back here. That blue, white, and red car. Going to be a very, very wild restart. Said I don't know who we should even watch on this restart. 50 Cody Rhodes, he lost a lap, getting pushed back to the to pit road, so he lost 1 lap. He was having a great day. He is in 41st. 36 cars are on the lead lap. We're gonna watch the 15 for now. It's gonna be a crazy restart. Yeah, we might actually have to watch this view, honestly. 45 Tim Zimmer, the last 4 cars in the back of the field. They are the first 4 cars that are leading this race. Tim Zimmer, the leader, not going to lead them back to green flag. The 80 of Stephen Pollard is going to. We're going to watch the 15 just because he is really slow and that is going to cause a lot of havoc and a lot of chaos. Actually, we might skip forward and actually watch Tim Zimmer try to make his way through the field. See, Stephen Pollard does not get past the 18 of Kagan Polshiner. So now Kagan on the inside. Cars are racing so hard up front here. See, Tim Zimmer is the leader, Alexander Jones second. They're trying to put all these cars one lap down. Again, like I said, the 45 of Tim Zimmer is the race leader. This is going to be sketchy. If we don't have a caution, it's going to really be bad for a lot of these cars. Look at Tim Zimmer almost into the side of 8-0 file. We've not seen this many cars side by side since the start of this thing. Hunter Blade on the outside slowing a lot of cars down. Skylar Roach, 8-0 file. Jacob Johnson, Yale Carrillo are all going one lap down. The 12 of Sam Oskin going to go a lap down. Pablo West and Sarah Rocha right in front of Tim Zimmer. They are almost going to be a lap down. See, Stephen Pollard is loving all this stuff happening back here. Tim Zimmer out front, Alexander Jones second. Third now is Jeremiah Dwayne. Fourth is Jacob Britt. Let's go up through the field here and watch some of these cars up here racing. A lot of... Oh, there's a caution. Caution on the speedway somewhere. Oh, it looks like Yale Carrillo, the 90 of Jacob Johnson, Skylar Rocha has some damage. Oh, wow. So we're riding with the pace car. A lot of cars are going to get their lap back. Sarah Rocha, Pablo West almost went a lap down, but they will stay on the lead lap. But now we only have 31 cars on the lead lap. A lot of cars caught one lap down. Skylar Rocha, Logan York, Yale Carrillo, Jacob Johnson. Sam Oskin was up near the front earlier, same with 8-0 file. A lot of cars with damage. We're going to have to go back and look at that caution. Third caution of the day, the second crash. So Stephen Pollard, 5th place. He is really happy about that. Same with Logan Gentry. See Darwish Jr., Simon Zarnato, Axel Zero, and Gavin Jones rounding out the top 10. They're going to be able to catch back up to the field. Kagan Polshiner, I don't know. I think Kagan is a lap down, I think. Or is he... I think Kagan is still a lap down. Maybe not. We're going to find out when they cross the line, I think. Oh wow, the 20, Yale Carrillo out of fuel. Might have been the cause for the caution. So nobody comes down pit road. Let's go back and look at the 20 of Yale Carrillo, his crash. Whoops, not Kagan. There we go. So they're racing. The 15 of Hunter Blade back here. Looks like maybe the 20 tried to get past Sam Oskin. The 20 almost spun him around. Oh, wow. Oh, Yale Carrillo hard into the outside wall, and there's another crash, too. Looked like after... Let's just show you this again. Yale Carrillo almost spun the 12 out. 8-0 file spun the 20 of Yale Carrillo out. And then Skylar and Jacob Johnson hitting each other. Jacob got a lot of damage from that. Skylar did get some damage as well. Let's go back and watch, maybe look at a couple more views. Yale Carrillo. Let's actually look from the rear of Sam Oskin. You see Yale tapped him just a little bit. Yale Carrillo spins out. There was almost there was another crash. See all those cars wrecking back there. Skylar Rocha, unfortunate for him. Same with Sam Oskin being involved in that wreck. Yale Carrillo out of the race. We had said before, some of these cars are qualifying for the races, and then they get... Oh, there was another crash. The number 9, a Bruise Zero. I thought he had damage. let's look at what happened with him real quick then. I did not see his crash, so I don't know what happened there. He was in 23rd position. Looked like coming down to the start-finish line, Dawson Montenegro spins him out. Ooh, maybe a little bit of hard racing there. Dawson might have wanted to get some retaliation. Luckily, everybody will pass him. So the 45 Tim Zimmer out front. Very, very crazy race now. A lot of action happening. So we now see 31 cars are on the lead lap. Yo Carrillo is the only car out of the race. That 9 of Bruce Zero is in 23rd. I don't think he's coming down pit road. So I don't know. How many cars do we have a lap down? That's 10 cars are going to be a lap down. A couple cars are damaged that are a lap down. Meanwhile, this time by, we've got 22 laps to go. I believe we're going to get the restart with 21 laps to go. Stephen Pollard sitting back there in 5th place. If he can get past all of these cars that are a lap down, he might have a shot at winning. Tim Zimmer had a good shot at winning at Rockingham. Could not get it done. He's had some pretty good races. He almost won the Daytona 500. He's been up near the front of the points, and right now he's having a great day. Obviously, having these lap cars is a really good advantage if he can get a good jump. If he can get a good jump and clear those lap cars, he's going to have a really good lead, and it's going to take Alexander Jones a very long time to catch him. So a lot of stuff happening in this race. Pitstops really threw everything up in the air. The 50 Cody Rhodes, he was the cause of the second caution while pit stops were happening. Tim Zimmer, Alexander Jones, Jacob Britt, and Jeremiah Dwayne stayed out. Almost lapped the entire field. They did come down pit road, and a lot of cars were on the tail end of the lead lap. We then saw the restart. There was a crash a few laps after the restart, and that allowed a lot of cars to get back to the front, but a lot of cars are a lap down. See, I believe it's 10 cars. Let's check it one more time. 11 cars, I believe, that are a lap down. So the 45 Tim Zimmer, hoping he can get past that 12 of Sam and Oskin. I think the 45 was hoping the 15 of Hunter Blade would be up front on that bottom line. That way he could hold all the lap cars back and possibly jumble everybody up behind him. So here we go, 21 laps to go at the line at the restart. Will we have another crash? We've seen a lot of action since about lap 50. Tim Zimmer, that 45, is going to lead the field down to the green flag. Green flag is in the air, and they're off. Looks like Sam Oskin, though, got a really good start. I don't think the 45 is going to be able to clear him into turn number 1. He is not going to be able to. Look at the 17 now of Alexander Jones going to try to make a pass for the lead. Battle for the lead here at Darlington. Jacob Britt also trying to pass. 17 trying to find a hole. Can the 45 of Tim Zimmer hold the 17 off in turn 3 and 4? I don't think he can. Now the 17 of Alexander Jones battling for the lead, but he does not get it yet. Tim Zimmer trying to hold on to the lead, but he is going to fall back. Alexander Jones now is out front. See Tim Zimmer falling back to 3rd place. A lot of action in the back of the field. 3rd place, Tim Zimmer. 4th place is Jeremiah Dwayne. 5th place is still Stephen Pollard. Stephen has probably one of the best cars in this race. Let's go back. Look at all this action back here. These cars are all trying to get past each other. A lot of these cars are either a lap down or held up by that 15 car. See the 90, Jacob Johnson also has damage. A lot of damage to that car. His fenders are sticking out every which way. Thought there was a crash back there, so I had to change views there. Jacob Johnson, a lot of damage to his car. Skylar Rocha trying to pulled off the number 1 of 8 no file, trying to get his lap back. I don't think he's going to be able to do that, though. Now Alexander Jones falling back. Look at the 29, Jacob Britt out front. Oh, Alexander Jones and Stephen Pollard almost made some contact. They almost wrecked. Now Stephen Pollard, he was 4th that last time by, trying to take 3rd from Alexander Jones. He has had a really good car today. Same with that 91 of Logan Gentry. Meanwhile, Tim Zimmer, 2nd place, trying to catch the 29 and retake the lead. Look at Stephen Pollard now up to 3rd place. Alexander Jones led a lap. He is going to fall back now through the field. A couple cars are going to pass him. Stephen Pollard 3rd place, trying to catch these first 2 cars, Jacob Britt and Tim Zimmer. We said at the beginning of this thing that Jacob Britt needed to have a really good finish today, and right now he is leading with less than 20 laps to go. Watching this view for now. Let's go through the back of the field. Oh, what happened here? The 04 John Book, it looked like he just blew up. That could throw a caution out if he can't get back to pit road. I think he's going to be able to get back. Looks like the 04 John Book will make it back to pit road. I don't know what happened to him, but he blew up and his day is going to be done. You see not Jacob Britt. You see the 1500 blade gets passed by all of these cars. Tim Brannigan really far back. Same with Robbie Bannister. Going through the field, Jacob Johnson also gets passed. Gary Harmon fell back a pretty good amount of spots, battling with Evan McCollum. So there's going to be 2 cars out of the race. We're going to wait and see what happened with that 04 car. Single file, though, up through the field. It looks like everything has calmed down for the most part. Up front, Jacob Britt still the race leader. 04 John Book, ignition trouble, so he is out of the race. His day is done. Hunter Blade going to try to make a few more laps and get past that 04 car. See the top 10. Jeremiah Dwayne has fallen back to 10th place. Didn't really have a strong car. He almost went a lap down earlier on in this race. See the 5 of Damon Singletary having a pretty good run. Jarvis Jr., that 66, having a good run as well. Logan Gentry, Stephen Pollard, they all need good runs. 11th place, Josh Hardiman. He has made it back up to the front, or near the front. He was having a great day. Good points day for him. Tim Hoffman qualified his way in after missing last week. He's in 14th. He might be able to make it to the top 32 in points if he can finish in 14th or better. Tina Livingston was 3rd in points. She is back in 15th. Let's see, Sarah Rocha, 24th. She was the points leader coming into this race. She is probably going to lose the points lead. I don't know. I think Stephen Pollard, honestly, might be the points leader. After finishing 2nd place last week, he's in 2nd place again this week. We have 11 laps to go this time by. Evan McCollum is in 20th, having a pretty good run. Pablo West, 21st. Felix Boucher, 22nd, has not been able to put some good runs together. Clint Spillman, 24th, not the run he wanted. Gary Harmon, not the run that he wanted either. See a few positions changing back there. Tim Brannigan started on the pole. He's back in 28th. Robbie Bannister in 30th. He is not having that great of a run today. Sam Adoskin is on the tail end of the field of the lead lap. You see him right there in front of the leader, Jacob Britt. He's hoping for a quick caution and hoping that he can get onto the tail end of the field and make his way back up to the front, or at least get a couple positions. CD18 Kagan Polshiner back in 34th. 35th, Logan York, not having a great run. CJ Williams, Hugo Jimenez, they've both been a lap down since lap number 1. Cody Rhodes had an issue earlier. Jacob Johnson was in that last crash. A lot of cars having some trouble here. Look at a few other cars. Alex Bruno in 12th place. He's having a really good run this week. He's going to jump up in the points. He's going to be near the front. Cesar Ramirez, Sean Howe, they're both having good runs. That 00 Jeremiah Dwayne falling all the way back to 19th place. I don't know what happened to him, but he was in 9th just a little bit ago. Josh Hardiman up to 10th. So you see Stephen Pollard, 2nd place. He's getting a battle by the 17 of Alexander Jones. Alexander trying to take 2nd place away. In the meantime, 29 Jacob Britt is over a second ahead of these guys. single file racing happening back here, less than 10 laps to go. We're going to watch the battle for second place as Jacob Britt running away with this race. 7 more laps to go. Looks like Alexander Jones is going to make a run on Stephen Pollard. Stephen Pollard falling back to third. Logan Gentry now going to try to take third place away. Stephen Pollard trying to finish as high up as he can. He wants the points lead after today's race. He's had a really good run. 45 of Tim Zimmer was the race leader at the restart. He's fallen back to 5th. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They've all had really strong cars. See Alexander Jones now 2nd place, but I think they are too far back to catch up to that 29 of Jacob Britt. Now they are catching that 15 of Hunter Blade. Hunter is going to throw a big curveball in this finish, I think. 6 to go, this time by 5 laps to go. Stephen Pollard, 3rd place, still battling, trying to hold his position. The 1500 Blade is going to go another lap down here. 5 to go. Sam at Oskin does not catch him at the right spot. That is going to slow the 29 of Jacob Britt down. Going to create an interesting finish, I think. Jacob Britt going to go down low. He's going to try to pass the 12. But now, the 1500 Blade now on the bottom. That is going to really help the 17 of Alexander Jones. The 12 battling the 29 now. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. I don't think that 29 car is close enough to the 15. The 15 going to come down. He's going to block. Here's the 17 now of Alexander Jones. Alexander going to try to take first place away. He's right up with the leader. He gained almost a second that last time by, but he did catch the 15 at a kind of awkward spot. 3 to go this time by. Jacob Britt is the race leader. See Hunter Blade not holding too many cars up front. These guys are catching him at a pretty reasonable spot on the track. Tim Zimmer catching the number 91 of Logan Gentry. Skylar Roach has made his way up to the front with a damaged car, but he is a lap down, so he is not a factor in this race. Alexander Jones only has 2 more laps to go this time by to try to get past that 29 of Jacob Britt. Is he going to be able to do it? Can he catch the 29 and put the bumper to him? Neither of these cars have won yet in 2019, so they're both hoping that they can get a win. Jacob Britt trying to win this race, trying to get max points today. Stephen Pollard is 3rd place. Look at Sam at Oskin battling the 17, but he is a lap down. That's not going to make any difference if he can get past that 17 or not, but that is going to slow the 17 down. Look at the 12 now, going to try to get past the 17. Now Stephen Pollard is going to try to catch the 17 car. He might be able to put a run on the 17. We're on the final lap, by the way. A lot of action happening here at Darlington. The last lap, Jacob Britt is going to win this race as long as nothing bad happens to him. So coming out of turn number 4, Jacob Britt is going to win race number 5 at Darlington. See the rest of the field coming down to the checkered flag. Pretty exciting race today. Jacob Britt is your race winner. He did not have a good start to the season, fell back out of the top 32 in points, had to qualify his way into the race last week and the week before. And now he is the race winner at Darlington. So we're waiting for everybody to... There we go, everybody now finishes the race, gets past the start-finish line. Here is your official standings after this race. You see 2 cars out of the race. John Book under green flag. His ignition broke, so he is 41st. Yale Carrillo in that last caution in that wreck. He will finish last. Not the day he was looking for. He qualified himself into this race and finishes last, so not good for him. Jacob Britt is your winner. Alexander Jones 2nd. Stephen Pollard the 3rd is in 3rd, and I think he is the points leader now. Logan Gentry 4th in his first start. Simon Zarnato up to 5th place after winning at Las Vegas, so he has another good finish. Tim Zimmer, a great finish today. Axel 0, 7th place. He managed to climb up through the field. He gets a really good finish. Darwish Jr., 8th place. He needed a good finish. He's hoping he can get as far up in the top 32 in points as he possibly can. Damien Singletary, a good finish. Josh Hardiman will rally back to 10th place, and he is going to be up there in the points. Brett Taylor, 11th. Alex Bruno, 12th. Great finish for him. Rhiannon Pickett, her best finish of the season, 13th place. That's going to help her in the standings. Bruce Zero will finish 14th. Pretty good finish for him. Tina Livingston came into this race 3rd in points. She is 15th. Cesar Ramirez, 16th. Not a bad finish for him. Tim Hoffman was hoping for a better finish, but he will finish in 17th. So I'm not sure if he's going to be in the top 32 yet or not. See some other drivers. 18th, Sean Howe, Evan McCollum, Pablo West, Sarah Roach are the points leader coming into this race, finishing halfway through the back of the field. That is probably going to knock her out of the points lead. Dawson Montenegro, last place last week, or close to last place last week, and actually no, I think he did finish last. Now a 22nd position finish, so he is going to have to qualify his way back into the race, I believe, next week. Gavin Jones, not too good of a finish, but better than what he could have finished. Tim Brannigan, 24th. 25th, Ryan Benjamin. Clint Spillman, 26th. Jeremiah Dwayne, all the way back to 27th. He restarted in the top 5 with 21 to go, and he falls back to 27th. 28th, Gary Harmon. 29th, Ryan Benjamin. 30th, Felix Boucher. 31st, one lap down to Samet Ozkin. Not a good finish again for him. He's going to fall back in points. Skylar Rocha, 32nd. Bad finish for him. 33rd, Aiden O'File. 34th, Kagan Polshiner. CJ Williams, 35th. Logan York, 36th. 37th, Hugo Jimenez. 38th, Cody Rhodes. 39th, Jacob Johnson. 40th, Hunter Blade. And we already talked about those two drivers. So stay tuned. We will post the points here in just a few seconds. Great race today. Not what I thought it was going to be like. That caution during pit stops really messed with the entire race and really changed everything in the race. So, very interesting. We will see you guys next week with the next race. I believe it's Bristol, but I have to look at the calendar. I forget what was after this week. But that will be next week, the next 2 races. So, we will see you guys then. Now let's go and check the points out as of race number 5. And here are the points as of race number 5. You see Stephen Pollard the 3rd with his finish, now getting up to 1st place in points. 2nd place is Sarah Rocha. She's only 7 behind Stephen. 3rd is Tina Livingston, 13 behind Stephen. Alexander Jones with his finish is 4th. He is 21 points back. Tim Zimmer, 5th, 25 points back. Josh Hardiman was able to make some ground. He is 6th place, 66 points back. Logan York is 70 points back. Bruce Zero and Simon Zarnato, 83 and 89 points back. And Axel Zero, 126 points back in 10th place. So, you see, I want to show you guys one thing here real quick. Look at Damien Singletary, 16th place. He's only made 4 starts out of 5 races. He missed the Daytona 500. He has made his way into every race, or every other race. He's missed 1 race, but he is ahead of some guys that have made all 5 races. So really interesting there. Gavin Jones, with his finish, is able to get up to 25th. He is not going to have to qualify his way into the race for now. Samet Ozkin there. See Dawson Montenegro falling back to 31st. Well, actually getting up to 31st. Remember, do not look at this one down here. This is not an entry. For some reason, it's a random entry that's doubled. So, anyway, Aiden O'File, 32nd. Now you see from CJ Williams, 33rd place, all the way down to 47th. They are going to have to qualify their way into the race. So, CJ Williams is only 3 points away from the cutoff. So, if he can qualify into the race next week, and finish good, finish better than Aiden, he should be able to get into the top 32 in points. Clint Spillman is really close to that as well, only 7 points from the cutoff. Tim Hoffman is about 40 points, between 35 and 40 points away. Tim Hoffman had a pretty good finish. He's in 35th in points. So Cesar Ramirez, Darwish Jr., Colton Harmon, Tyrell Resner, Evan McCollum, Ron Jackson, Jeremiah Dwayne, Yale Carrillo, Logan Gentry, Sheila Harmon, Benjamin Wallace, and Cody Rhodes all are going to have to qualify their way into the race still. You see 32nd. They're only 304 points away from the points leader, so not too bad. You can really gain those points. Season is still early, so anything can happen. That is for sure. See, C.J. Williams, Clint Spillman, they both made all 5 races so far, and they are outside of the top 32. They've both had really bad finishes. Actually, they haven't finished good at all. They haven't had a top 5 or a top 10 for either of them. Tim Hoffman missed the race last week at Atlanta. He does have a top 10, but he also has 2 DNFs. So he hasn't had a great finish. A lot of these drivers down here, if they're a provisional, they do count as a DNF. Benjamin Wallace has missed 2 races. He has 2 DNFs, and he only, Benjamin Wallace only has made 1 race. He's tried to qualify for 3 races, did not make 2, only made 1 race. See, Sheila Harmon has made 2 races, and she missed this race today at Darlington. So, a lot of drivers trying to get back to the front, but that is sometimes better said than done. Stephen Pollard went from 4th to 1st. Sarah Rocha falls back. Tina stays the same. The biggest gainer is Jacob Britt. He is 14th in points. He was 27th in the points before this race. You see, there is a 3-car battle for 14th. Jacob Britt, John Book, Damian Singletary. You have Robbie Bannister 1 point behind them. It's really close. It still is very close. A lot of drivers are still in contention. I'd say, honestly, even all the way back out of the top 32 in points, they're still in contention. But the next few races could determine who is going to be able to make the race each week. Eventually, I think we're probably going to have a battle back here, and it's just going to be these guys trying to make the races. And all these cars back here, from 33rd back to 47th, trying to make the race every week, but that is not always the case. 4 drivers will not make the race. So, and if anybody else joins, that will mean that there's even going to be a harder chance for them to make the race. You see the top, who is this? The top 6 cars here have all finished 390 laps. So far, no DNFs for any of them. The first DNF would be the 29 Jacob Britt, and John Book just had his first DNF. But all these cars here have had really good seasons. So if any of these top, 20, 21 cars end up wrecking next week or in the next few weeks, that could really open the door for a lot of these drivers back here. And it could really be a really close season. So stay tuned. We cannot wait for race number 6 next week. I believe it's Bristol. But we cannot wait until then. It's going to be a fun race weekend. Great week of racing here at Atlanta and then Darlington. A very wild race. So we will see you guys next week. Enjoy your week. Hopefully you guys had fun this week with the racing we've seen. There is a major announcement also I have next week. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty cool. I think you guys will be really excited for it. Until then, we will see you next week.